All right, what is up, everyone? This is the Combat Sports Podcast, episode I think 5 or 6. With Mondo today. Michael's not here, but he hopefully he'll be here next week or whenever we do the next podcast. But today we're gonna be talking about some of the boxing that happened recently, and then this upcoming UFC 302 card. So hopefully you guys enjoy, and we're gonna get started here. Let Mondo say what's up.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Hey, shout out to Michael. I just put him through some rigorous training right before this podcast, so he had to go to work, but he was a sport today. Shout out to Orlando and Jason too.
Sweet. So let's get started. So I didn't see a lot of these boxing fights, but I think the first fight we're gonna talk about was the Navarrete versus I think it's Baranchik. Is that how you say it?
I think so. He's some Ukrainian guy.
Yeah, dude. You know that one guy that Zepeda fought, Jose Zepeda, the bald. He fought some bald
Yeah,
guy. I dude, this whole time I thought this was that guy. You know, the other Baranchik.
yeah.
I was like, dang,
It's
how
not
did?
him.
Yeah. I did. I just
That
like
that's
I yeah.
Zepeda. I was about to say that's Zepeda and Baranchik, that other Baranchik. If anybody of you haven't seen that fight, go watch it, bro. That's like a fight of the decade type fight.
For real, dude. That was like I think they had like what like 4 or 5 knockdowns in that fight, and they just kept going.
Bro,
Yeah, it
I
was
think they had
insane.
like eight. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was just ridiculous until I think Brand. Actually, I won't spoil it, but that was a
Yeah.
pretty crazy fight. But did you see any of this Navarrete fight?
Oh, this I did not, bro. This fight kind of just went under everybody's radar, to be honest, because of the Usyk Fury fight. And the week before Usyk Fury, we were talking about how Navarrete was gonna fight somebody, and ended up being this Baranchek guy, for the vacated belt on Top Rank, and he got upset, bro. Did you, after the events unfolded, did you get to watch some of the highlights or anything?
No, I did not. I had some pulled up here, but I didn't get to watching it. Was it a good fight?
Mm. The Navarrete fights are always pretty good. It's pretty action packed, but high volume.
Do you think Baranchik won?
Um, yeah, I think I mean, it was a back and forth, but I think Baranchik was just a little stronger and more consistent. Navarrete, I think, like I said last time, he hit his limit here on the lightweight class. I think usually he like can outmuscle his opponents, but seemed like he just didn't have enough in his punch to for Baranchik to respect him, for 12 rounds.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I've noticed Navarrete is he's got some power, but like I think at this weight class, it's not like anything crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it definitely is like a cumulative power.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was about to say. He puts on that volume that he usually has a pretty good pace, but I was watching some of the highlights and it looked like this Baranchik guy fights at a very high pace too, just from his like
Yeah,
movements.
so all the Ukrainians from that year, it's pretty much that Olympic team with Usyk and Lomachenko. There's a few other not so well known Ukrainians, but I believe he was from that class. So all those people
Uh,
are pretty good fighters. Yeah, Sergey Deverenchenko too is one of those
oh
fighters that they
dang,
all are good as fuck. Yeah.
I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
Now, like the 135-pound division is kind of tossed up because Top Rank obviously wanted Navarrete to fight Lomachenko because they had that whole plan to the winner of Navarrete and Loma was gonna fight Shakur. So now it's kind of up in the air. We just kind of gotta wait it out at this point. But
Oh
yeah, let's move
yeah,
on to the Usyk Fury.
oh yeah, and also I'm sharing my screen too if you want to check that out.
Oh yeah, I
But
got it.
yeah, so this fight I did see the Usyk versus Tyson Fury fight, which was a freaking banger, dude. Did you see this fight? All right, I think yeah, you said you saw it.
Yeah, I watched it twice. I watched it one with the commentators and once without the commentators.
Did you think it was different when you watched without the commentating?
Um, Not personally, I don't think so because I know a lot about boxing, but for someone that doesn't know a lot about boxing, I would highly recommend to watch it without the commentators. Plus, like, I don't think there's really any good commentators right now in the game. They're all kind of
Yeah.
whack, to be honest.
Yeah, I've noticed I mean I haven't noticed as much lately, but back when like they're more separated, like the promotions, they're very biased in boxing. I don't know if you notice.
Yeah, they still are for sure.
Yeah. But I guess now they're putting on like those mega fights in Riyadh, so I think maybe they'll start shifting towards less biased because they're all fighting under like the same thing. But yeah, let's get into the fight. So overall, who did you have winning this fight?
I know people say that it was a close fight, and some people said that Fury won, but I definitely had Usyk winning. I watched it twice. The first time, let me pull up my scorecard. I think I had it. By the way, all the swing rounds, I just gave it a draw because
True.
there was no real clear winner,
Yeah.
and I think I had Usyk winning by like 3 rounds, and the second time I had it. Let me see, I had Usyk winning 6 rounds, Fury winning like three, and then like two draws. But it was a
Yeah.
close fight though. It was even though Usyk might have edged the ones that I gave him. Like Fury, of course, is no slouch.
Yeah, for sure. I think I had it scored exactly like you. But I think no matter how you score this fight, I think you almost have to give it to Usyk, especially with the knockdown.
Yeah, like if you score a fight based on who was closer to going out or who did more damage, Usyk definitely won. Which, by the way, brings us to like a great point of the controversy, or I guess people made it into controversy. But what do you think about all the referee? Like, have you did you hear about that? The when
Yeah.
Tyson Fury was about to go out, and then the people say that the referee kind of saved them or something like that. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why people are complaining about it. Like, I guess I could kind of see it, but I mean, I don't know. It's really, I think in the heat of the moment, I don't think anybody could have really done anything better. Like, what could you do there? You can either step in, give him a standing eight, and it looks early, or you step in and it looks late, or you stop the fight and everyone complain. You know what I mean? There's like no really good way to do that. I think,
Yeah, okay.
yeah,
So the original argument was that the referee could have stopped the fight, right? And I think
yeah,
it was the right choice not to stop it altogether. But there was like a few times, like if you go by the official boxing rules, there was like 3 times that the ropes like held Tyson Fury up.
mhm.
And I feel like the first time that he was held up, the referee should have given him a standing 8 count. And then I feel like maybe Usyk would have finished him after that. But you never know. You can't really play the should have, would have, could have game, you know?
Yeah. That is a good point. But I don't know. I think I saw him hit the ropes, but it looked like he was more so just leaning back, trying to like fade the punches versus like him getting hit really, really hard and him like falling back. I mean, he was getting hit, but I think the one where the ref stopped in was that one was like the most clear and obvious one where he was really stumbling backwards. And the earlier ones were like in between. Some of them you definitely could have stepped in, but yeah, I guess that is a good point. He could have stepped in a little bit quicker and then did the standing eight. But at the same time, like it kind of worked out for Usyk because he got to hurt Fury a little bit more too. So I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, and then at least like the right person won. At least I thought. I know,
Yeah.
even though like now some people say that Tyson Fury won, which I don't know how they score boxing. They must not know anything about boxing rules
For real.
whatsoever. But like, and like some credible people say that shit. Like it's crazy how much people don't know about boxing.
Yeah, I mean, the story of the fight was Usyk clearly won. Like, if you watch that
Yeah.
fight, you can, and you were saying if you had to bet your house on one person to win, I think 99% of people would say Usyk. But you never know. I guess it's pretty subjective. But man, that ninth round, dude, I've never seen Fury like. We've seen Fury go down, but I don't think we've ever seen him stumble around the ring like that, dude. That was just nuts.
I know. Yeah, that's like this. Along with the when Wilder put him down in that 10th or 12th round, I can't remember of their first fight. That's the most
Yeah.
hurt Fury's ever been for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Like, yeah, he went down hard and was like pretty much out. Then he just recovered. And I don't, dude, there's something weird with Tyson Fury because that dude gets hit with the hardest shit ever. And then the next round, it looks like he didn't even, you know what I mean? It looks like he's not even phased at all. It doesn't make any sense to
Oh
me.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, he
I
definitely has
thought,
some good.
yeah, like I thought Fury
Oh,
lost the remaining rounds, but like he didn't lose them by a whole lot, and he looked good. Like he didn't look like he carried that ninth round into the remaining round. Other than maybe the 10th, he looked a little bit hesitant, but then 11 and 12, it looked like he was fully there. But I still gave those rounds to Usyk because I think Usyk was on the front foot basically the whole time and was leading that.
yeah, I think on contrary when Fury has gone down in the past, except for the Ngannou fight, which I don't know what the fuck is going on, but usually when Fury goes down, he comes back and wins the rounds clearly. But
Yeah.
definitely he wasn't able to do this against Usyk. But
Mhm.
it was still a competitive fight, and there's gonna be a rematch. So what do you think are your predictions for the rematch?
Man, I think it's gonna go. I think it's gonna go just like this one. I think Fury's gonna win a lot of the rounds by like sneaking them with like good clean punches and then moving around. But I think ultimately Usyk catches and hurts him again and then wins with a knockdown, kind of like this fight.
Yeah. And Usyk did get hurt too, though, like in the fifth or sixth round or something like that. But
Yeah,
Usyk
dude,
also has good. He also has good recovery like skills.
for sure. Yeah, Usyk got cracked. I mean, he's getting cracked a lot in the middle rounds by like uppercuts, some good jabs, but it looked like Fury, and I said this before in the last podcast. I think Fury fights his best when he's on the front foot, pushing back the
Yeah.
opponents and stepping on his punches. But he wasn't really doing that. I mean, he did a little bit, but not as much as he needed to. Because I think when he's sticking and movement, he's not putting enough um, force behind his punches to really like knock you down. I mean, he did it in the Wilder fight. I don't know if you remember the Wilder
Yeah.
fight. I think the second and third, he was clearly
Yeah.
stepping forward into his punches and he was hurting Wilder. But this one, it looked like he was mostly trying to stick and move. Like that's his style. But I think if he was gonna win this next fight, he really cannot just stick and move the whole fight. I think he has to put in like six of the rounds. I think he has to be leading to win.
Yeah, and those are three really good points that I want to touch on right now. First, that you literally called it like almost verbatim, bro. Remember you said like you were
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, actually, now that I think about it, I think Usyk's gonna beat Fury like he did. And
Yeah.
we were talking about how in his last fights before the Ngannou fight, he was coming forward more, being because he was always like a great boxer, but now he was starting to pressure more, using his highs on people. But then I said that like because he came in kind of light, that maybe he was gonna try to maximize his footwork speed and try to box on the outside, and he kind of did that. I mean, it might be to Usyk's credit that just the pressure Usyk puts on you, like just with the feints. And
Yeah.
obviously he let some good shots go on Fury, which maybe Fury had to respect that. But also another point about that, what do you think about Fury saying that he thought he was winning, and if he knew he was losing, that he would have like pressed forward, like you kind of like you say that what he needed to do to win.
Yeah, dude. I think I saw that he said his corner like kind of blamed him. I don't, or he kind of blamed his corner. Did you see that? He was like, my corner said I was up, so I like didn't try to win these last rounds. Did you? I don't know. Did you hear that?
Yeah, yeah, that's why I brought it up because of that.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, in my opinion, like, I don't know. I guess it's hard to say because he got knocked down, so he doesn't really know what's going on. But man, he's got to go out there and win these rounds no matter what. And it doesn't matter if he's up. And even if you think you are up, you just got knocked down. Like it's gonna look like you're
Yeah.
losing these rounds no matter what if you're not doing enough. You know what I mean? Because you just got knocked down. So just recency bias. These judges, in my opinion, we're gonna be like, oh yeah, this guy's hurt. Like they're gonna give more edge to Usyk if it looks like he's just being busier.
And this brings me to the next topic that like what do you think about an open scoring system where like each judge has to share the scorecard to the public after each round? Because right now, the way the systems are, judges they don't even have to score the fight round by round. They could wait till the very end and write down their scores, and we wouldn't even know. And that's kind of how you see like where the corruption comes in boxing. What do you think about because on the contrary, there's some boxers that say that like, oh, that's just gonna like it doesn't matter, like that's gonna cause some fighters to just like cruise by or whatever. But then again, if a fighter knows that he's losing, he might try to, put that extra oomph in the rest of the fight. But I personally like the open scoring system idea because mostly not for the fighters. I mean, yeah, for the fighters, of course, so they get the best results. But like for the corruption aspect, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think it would be good for the fighters and also good for keeping these judges in check. But I mean, I don't know. I obviously as a fan you want like transparency and everything. But at the same time, like I kind of like just not knowing. I don't know what it is, but when you're just watching the fight, you're like, "Oh man, like you know what I mean? Like the suspense kind of it's kind of cool like waiting to the final scorecards, but man, like sometimes you get these terrible decisions and you're just wondering how the heck that happens. So man, like
Right.
as a
So
fighter for sure they should have that so then the fighter knows like if they're getting screwed over, they're gonna go for a knockout. Like especially if they think they're winning.
yeah, yeah. And like that will definitely like if a judge gives like a shitty ass score for one round and the public knows about it, like they're like, what the fuck's going on, you know?
Yeah. But I just thought of like a reason that it would be bad is like if you have a fighter that's up 6 rounds or whatever, however many rounds, and they just do some BS where they just run around for the last couple of rounds, that'd make it a pretty terrible fight, I guess. But I don't know. Transparency wise, 100% open scoring would be good.
Yeah. I mean a lot of fighters already do that, that's just part of their style.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
But I mean that pretty much wraps up this boxing event. Should move on to the next topic, which I know we've been talking a lot about Ryan Garcia, but there was another update that his B sample came positive, and
Wait, hold
which
on. One sec. Before we start that, where do we rank
yeah,
Usyk pound for pound?
oh yeah, how great he is. Oh, I
Yeah.
rank him number one now. Yeah, number one.
Same, dude. I was sleeping on him. I know we were talking like a few podcasts ago who our pound for pound rankings. Usyk didn't even come to my mind for some reason, and I was just sleeping on him. But man, now he just proved he's number one. It's undisputed as well. It's not even. I think even Crawford came out and said Usyk is number one.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I agree with that.
But yeah, let's go to the Ryan Garcia news.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it super quick, just because I mean the A sample came in dirty, like the B sample was gonna come in dirty, but like we've been saying, it's not performance enhancing doses at all. So we're just at this point just waiting for his sanction.
Yeah, I was saying like everyone shouldn't be surprised that the B sample is positive because I've heard it's the exact same um what do you call it? The exact same
results.
test. The exact same results or tests that were from the A sample. It's just cut in half, and they save the B sample for a second examination. But it's the exact same substance that they tested.
Yeah,
So
it's just to
yeah,
see if you have, like, a false positive or a false negative, but I don't know,
yeah,
I still see a bunch of people, like, saying some ignorant shit, you know? I mean, but I
yeah,
guess a lot of people are gonna say a lot of things, but just so everybody knows, it wasn't an enhancing, a performance enhancing dose, even though he is gonna be and he should be held accountable for taking a supplement that he shouldn't have taken, you know? Like, the ashwagandha or whatever. So right now, in this stage, they're just sampling all the things he took, like all the supplements, and most likely something's gonna come, you know, with some trace ostarine in there. If you don't have anything else to say about that one, we should move on to the UFC 302.
yeah. Let's do it. So UFC 302, we got Makhachev versus Poirier, and originally this fight was supposed to be Arman Sarukian versus Makhachev, but they kind of screwed Arman over and said right when he got to the locker room after he beat Charles Oliveira, I think it was UFC 300. They're like, "You want Makhachev in June?" He said no. Obviously, I mean like he just fought, so it'd be pretty quick turnaround. And I don't know. I don't really like Arman that much, anyways. Much rather see Poirier versus Makhachev. So yeah, let's get into this
Yeah,
one.
and Makhachev already beat Arman once, so
Yep, that's true. Yeah, and that fight would kind of be. I feel like it wouldn't be as. I mean, maybe it could be good because their grappling would counter each other, but at the same time, it could just be a lot of grappling and not a whole lot of action. But let's see. Start Aline Perez, Jocelyn Edwards. That's a decent fight, and then Mickey Gall. So, are you familiar with Mickey Gall?
yeah, I'm familiar for beating for he was the dude that beat CM Punk.
Yeah, I knew exactly what you were gonna say. That's pretty much what he's known for. I mean, he's had his ups and downs, but he hasn't done anything spectacular. But this guy that he's fighting is someone I'm interested in. Who's his name's Basil. Um, so this guy came in on a short notice. He fought, you know, Jack
Oh,
Madalena with
yeah.
JDM.
I
Yeah,
fuck
dude.
with Jack. Yeah.
Dude. So this guy came in short notice. And he gave JDM a really tough fight. It was a split decision. Um, I thought,
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember.
yeah, like this Basil guy came in. I think the only reason he lost was he got so gassed out. Like he just was not prepared for the fight because I think it was short notice and it was his first UFC fight. And he's fighting,
Mm.
JDM, who's had several UFC fights. But this Basil guy surprised the heck out of me. His striking is really good. His grappling's pretty good. Um, I think he gassed out after the first couple rounds and gave up that third, something like that. But yeah, this guy's good, and I'm interested in seeing him fight. Looks like he's a huge
So this
favorite
is his.
too.
Oh yeah, I bet. So this is what? How many fights has he had in the UFC?
This will be his second, I think.
Oh shit! So he came straight for Jack. Damn.
Yeah,
And he
it was
looked good in that
crazy.
fight.
Yeah, he looks super good. Um, I thought I had him winning, I think, until the third round. He gassed out. I can't remember exactly, but let's go on to this
So
next
you got
fight.
Basil over Mickey.
Oh, 100%. I'm taking Basil. I mean, I could see Mickey pulling off some like submission or something, but if it's on the feet, I got Basil all day.
Oh yeah, I don't.
You got Mickey?
No, no, I got Basil.
Oh
Mickey
yeah, you
got
got
no chance.
Basil. Let's see. So the next fight we got Nico Price versus Alex Morono. I think Nico Price is coming off a really good win. Let me check here. Um, oh, never mind. He lost. He's coming off a bad loss. Okay,
He's
no,
the
okay.
guy that Lawler retired on him, huh? He
Yeah, that
beat
was
him
a
and
quick
retired.
one. Yeah. Okay, I got that way off. He did beat someone 2 fights ago, but anyways, this is a guy. He's so fun to watch. Like, have you seen his fights?
I'm not very familiar with him, but the name does ring.
Dude, he's like how do I put it? He's kind of like a Donald Cerrone or I can't think of a good
Oh, okay, okay.
comparison. You know, like someone who always comes to fight, but he's not the best fighter. But he never
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
he's always like never quitting, always being active, and he's fighting a tough fight against Alex Morono, who's very good on the feet and really really good on the ground. He's not very good on the feet; he's decent
Oh,
on the
wow.
feet, but on the ground he's insane. I think he trains with like the Gracie guys.
Mm, okay.
So yeah, this should be a really good fight. I'll probably take Morono on that one as well. Next fight we got Jake Matthews versus Phil Rowe, which should be another good fight. This Phil Rowe guy, I think he's on a win streak. Let me check. Oh, he just lost to Neil Magny by split decision, but before that, yeah, he was on a
Oh,
3 fight
okay.
win streak.
He beat Price.
Yeah. He's
Neil
someone
Magny's
who's
pretty good though. Neil Magny's good.
oh yeah, he's really good. He's like annoyingly good because like he'll win the fights he's not supposed to win and then lose the fights that he's supposed to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's like good enough to fight anybody, but like at the same time he'll just randomly flip flop. You know what I mean? Just like I don't know how to describe it, but he's good. And I think this Phil Rowe guy is pretty good. He fights. He uses his range and he's got good power. So I think this is probably going to be a fight where Phil Rowe leads the striking and Jake Matthews probably tries to grapple. I think Matthews has been he's had some good fights, but then I think he just lost his last fight, had a couple weird losses. But yeah, he's been someone kind of more like a journeyman. So I think
Yeah,
I'll
I
probably
see.
take
Ups
Phil
and
Rowe.
downs.
Yeah. Let's see next fight. Um, Grant Dawson. I don't know this other guy. Grant Dawson's pretty good. Huge favorite. Um, Cesar Almeida. This fight should be a banger versus Roman Kopylov. Do you know Roman Kopylov?
I've seen him outside of the UFC. Yeah,
Yeah, he's pretty good, but oh man, he lost to this guy named I think Danny. Yeah, I think
yeah, that
yeah,
was a good. I watched that fight. The Hernandez. Yeah, I
yeah,
watched that fight.
yeah. That was a banger. Roman looked good too. I picked Roman in that fight, even though I know Hernandez is good, but I think yeah, it looks like Hernandez got that sub. But yeah, that was a good
It
fight
was
till
a
the
pretty close
submission.
fight though.
Yep, for
Yeah,
sure. So I think I'm gonna take Roman in that fight as well. But I've seen the Caesar guy. He's really good too. I think he's kind of old, but um, actually I'm not
he's
taking either
undefeated.
guy. Yeah, I'm not taking either guy. I think the line is good, 50-50 right here. So I'm excited for that one. And then for the main card, pretty good main card. It could be a little bit better, but I mean the last three are definitely good. Randy
Yeah.
Brown. Don't really know him. Do you know Randy Brown?
No.
Yeah, I'm not too
Wait,
familiar with him.
Jamaica. Oh God, he lost to some top guy probably. I think I saw some highlights of him losing
Yeah,
to
let's
he's fought.
see. Oh, Salikov. Yeah, he was. Oh, wait, he won. Oh, he lost to JDM.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's who it was. Yeah.
Man, actually, Randy Brown's got some good wins. And I think I remember Randy Brown. He's really good on the feet. He beat this
He's really
Salikov
tall.
guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a
I
lot
think
of those
JDM
fighters
just
on
hit
this
him.
card. Phil
JDM hit him with
Rowe.
some good liver shots.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know this guy he's fighting though. It looks kind of. Oh, he's got 24 wins. Pretty
24 and
good.
7.
Let's see. This next fight. This is an interesting fight right here. Let's see if we can make this bigger. We got Jailton Almeida versus. Oh, man, this website's bugging out. Versus Alexander Romanov. Do you know either of these guys?
Nah, to be honest, I'm not very familiar, but they got good records though.
Yeah, dude. So this Romanov guy was undefeated just 2 fights ago. Obviously, he lost 2 fights, two or three. I think 2 or 3 fights ago, he's undefeated, and he was like the top prospect. And then he just comes in for the fight he lost. He just comes in super big, like um,
This is heavyweight, right? Heavyweight?
yeah. I think yeah, it's heavyweight. before he would be like, a little chubby, but then like, um, but not like out of shape. But then he comes in looking like this. You see like the difference? Like he just gets super chunky.
Yeah.
I was like, what the? And then he literally gasses out after like 1 minute. I was like, is this guy even training? Like on some BS? Because I bet on him to win. He just looked so out of shape. I was like, what the heck? And then he looked bad in the
Who beat
fight
him?
after. I don't even think it was someone that good. Let me check. Yeah, it was Tybura. I mean, Tybura's not
Oh, okay,
bad,
okay.
but yeah, Tybura's not bad, but he's not the best.
Volkov too.
Yeah, and then Volkov
Volkov's
starched
pretty
him.
decent.
And then he got a win over Blagoy Ivanov, who's pretty good. So I think I bet on Romanov to beat Tybura, lost on that, and then I bet on Blagoy Ivanov. And then Romanov comes out looking all good as I'm like, what the heck, man? He comes back, looks good against the guy that I bet on. So I think this is a fun fight because Jaito Almeida is like a heavy grappler. He's got power, but
Mm.
he's grappling focus, and same with Romanov, the exact same. He's kind of reminds me of like a judo guy, like really good throws and stuff. So that's going to be interesting. Almeida just lost against Curtis Blades in a fight he was just dominating, and then
Oh,
Curtis
damn.
Curtis Blade just throws so Almeida's going in for a takedown, and Curtis Blade just throws like this uppercut while he's coming in, and it looks like it just like grazes off him, like one of those like the Phantom Punch, like like the Muhammad Ali Phantom
Yeah,
Punch. Like it wasn't even like
yeah.
that though. It looked like he just literally threw like a lazy uppercut, and then all of a sudden Almeida's just on the ground, and then Curtis Blade finishes him.
Like
So
like those video
yeah.
game glitches.
Yeah, it did exactly. Like it literally looked like a glitch because even the commentators like, what hit him? What hit him? And it took him like a little. They had to watch it over and over, and they're like, oh, it was an uppercut. But so yeah, that fight kind of pissed me off because I had Almeida in that fight. I was like, oh man, he got this in the bag, and he's taken down Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades is a guy that's really good wrestler, and Almeida is just dominating him.
Maybe
So
Lewis.
yeah, that's the crazy thing. He beat Derek Lewis like pretty easily. So I was like on the Almeida hype train. I was like, this guy's the next thing, and then he just gets slumped by like a not even a heavy punch. But I guess they're heavyweights, so I don't really know. But
Yeah,
this should be
that's
interesting.
true.
I think Almeida is going to go for a lot of takedowns. I think Romanov is going to stuff a lot, and I think it's going to be a grinding fight. But I'm just interested in who's going to win the grappling. But yeah, let's get into this Kevin Holland fight. He's fighting Michael Oleksiejczuk, something like that, from Poland.
That's a guy that just lost. Yeah, that's a guy that just lost to Michelle Pereira. Remember?
Oh yeah. Oh my
He got
god.
that cartwheel kick or whatever.
Oh my god. This is gonna be funny, dude. I think Kevin Holland's gonna come out with some crazy spinning stuff, try to confuse him again. Give him some PTSD.
No disrespect to Michael or whatever, but he was pretty mediocre.
Yeah, he looks like one of those guys that's not like great at any one thing, but pretty decent at everything.
And then Kevin Holland, he just came off losing to MVP, right?
Yeah, it was a close fight. But definitely MVP won that fight. It was one of those like fights where it's like a close fight, but one guy clearly won the rounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
That was a super fun fight. Oh man, like I'm excited to see MVP's next fight. But Kevin Holland always comes to fight. Every time you think he's like, he's not as good as you think he is, he comes out with like a crazy KO or something. And I think this will probably be his rebound fight where he gets like a nice little KO or a nice unanimous decision.
What was that? Kevin Holland versus Della Magdalena fight. I think that was a split decision win, bro, for the
Um,
Magdalena.
yeah, it was. Yeah, split decision, 3 rounds.
Do you do you
Interesting.
watch that one?
I can't remember it for
I didn't
some
watch them.
reason. I feel like I watched it, but I just can't remember it. I guess it was last September, so it was a while ago. Man, I can't remember it. Let's see. We got Sean Strickland versus Paulo Costa. What do you think about
Now
Sean
this
Strickland?
is where it starts to get good right here.
Yeah,
um, Dude, I was just watching his fight versus Duplessis. I watched it twice yesterday, and he fucking pissed me off watching it, bro. He's just like, I feel like he could have done better in that fight, but
100%.
he's had he's had some up and downs, but he did beat Issy. I remember me and Michael actually watched that fight together, and now we just felt the energy before it even started. We thought that Strickland was gonna win, and honestly, I'm not a huge Sean Strickland fan, but I've gotten to like him a little more these past few fights. But I uh I was happy for him when he beat Israel, to be honest.
Yeah, same. Like, man, Sean Strickland's got this style where like it looks like he can just completely dominate a fight, and at the same time, it looks like he can just sit there and look like he's not doing shit, which was like the Duplessis fight. Like when he actually can't like tried to win, he dominated one or two of the rounds. I can't remember which round. And then like some rounds, it looked like he was just like messing around and didn't want to fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know if it's like lack of like focus and composure, but I mean he's pretty good. He has like really good timing. He has a good jab. He has a good defense. He has good eyes. But yeah, he just sometimes lacks a little volume. Sometimes he against southpaws he leaves his lead hand a little too low. Which against the Duplessis fight, when he started bringing his hand up higher, his lead hand higher in the fifth round, he was like doing better. If he would have just made that adjustment from like an earlier round, I feel like he would have done way better and maybe won that fight.
Yeah,
But
dude, that fight, man, I was like, God, he lost by such a small margin. I felt like, I think like one round, but was it the fifth round where he like really went hard, or for the fourth round where he really won that round? Can you remember?
eh, the fifth round he went hard, yeah, especially
Yeah.
at the end. They were just swinging. The fourth round he was kind of bullshitting,
Okay. Yeah.
for
So
lack of a better
yeah,
word.
yeah. Like there was a couple rounds where he's like fucking around. I'm like, dude, go! Like I was getting so mad
Yeah,
because I picked Sean. And then the fifth round, it made me pissed off because, like, dude, if he would have just done that, but I mean, who's to say? Like, you never know, I guess. But that fifth round, he just looks so good, like the Sean Strickland, like that we are used to. And it's like, damn, dude, if he
yeah.
only had done that more.
And I immediately saw when he changed his guard, like he was doing way better. He had actually when you have your because Duplessis can switch orthodox and southpaw. Every time Duplessis was southpaw, he was catching him over the top with shit. With like his Sean kind of pulls back. He's good
Oh
at
yeah,
defending 1 and 2 shots, but if you chain like a combination moving forward together, like he's susceptible because he's not very lateral. But
true.
but yeah, once he got his hand up, he was able to stop Duplessis from chaining those combinations together. Just it's as simple as that. It's small little adjustments that win fights. I don't know if his
Yeah.
coach didn't tell him. I mean, I know his coach is pretty decent, but I don't know. Before that, what did you think of this fight against Israel? I thought that was a masterpiece.
Oh yeah, he dominated Israel. Like, just you could tell it was such a difference in sheer power. Maybe not um like stabbing power, but like brute power. And you could tell Israel was so uncomfortable in that fight. He just did not want to get hit by Sean, that's what I
Yeah,
felt
because
like I didn't see as much in the Duplessis fight, where he didn't use his imposing force as much in some of the rounds.
yeah, like in the first round, he was using his jab, and like in the first round, he was fresher. Of course, he was a little more explosive, but yeah, for the Israel fight, Israel is really good at playing the cat and mouse game, like throwing 2 shots, getting out of the way. Is like short sequences. If Sean, he's more sharp than Israel when it comes to those short sequences, so he was able to beat him at his own game essentially. But the difference that JDS has is that he actually chains a bunch of like sequences together, and comes forward and mixes the
Yeah.
wrestling, which I don't think people say that wrestling won him the fight. It was like he outstruck Sean in the middle rounds for sure. I think that's what really won him the fight because Sean was able to get up right away from the takedowns.
Yeah, for sure. Man, yeah, that Drake Duplessis, he's good. I don't really like him. I know a lot of people don't like him, but you got to give credit to him. He's pretty good at mixing it up, and he's really strong. I think early in his career he had like a messed up nose that he just never got fixed, and so he would gas out pretty much like every fight in like the third round, and then he got his nose fixed, and ever since then he hasn't really been gassing out. So he's gonna be a problem for sure.
Yeah, if he was that durable with a messed up nose, like he's definitely gonna. Well, it showed in the Sean Strickland fight that he was pretty durable.
Yeah.
What do
I
you think
think.
about Paulo Costa's last fight?
Oh man, I think who did he fight? Oh
Whitaker.
yeah, Robert Whitaker. That was a good fight, dude. It was like I think he
Yeah,
lost, but I think it was a super entertaining fight.
yeah, it was one of the best fights from that. I think it was the Topuria card. Like besides that card, besides that fight, the Volkanovski and Topuria, this was pretty good. But he's
Yeah,
been super inactive, bro. The thing about Paulo Costa is that he's super inactive.
yeah, super. Like he'll randomly fight here and there, like two or three fights, and then he'll just not fight for like a year or two. It's so whack.
Yeah,
But
what was that Rockford fight?
that was 2022, so it's been a year and a half
A minute. Yeah,
between
and then
those.
before
He's
that,
oh
he didn't fight.
man, another whole
Yeah,
year.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I guess he is super inactive just in general. Yeah, he takes like a year off every time he fights. What the heck is he doing? He's missing out on so much
I don't
money.
know.
Yeah, he's good. He's man, I don't know. He's got really good power. He gets better every fight, but he just doesn't give me the impression that he's ever going to be like a champion in my opinion.
Like physical specimen aspect, he's got it, but his mind is just like he's too emotional. He doesn't focus when he needs to focus. He can't execute a game plan for a full fight. I feel like that's why he's never gonna reach that level.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think his fighting IQ just is not up to par with his like athletic ability. If he could figure out how to get be a smarter fighter, like learn how to dissect his opponent, get reads, and then use a game plan, I think he could be a great fighter. But we just don't see that from him very often.
Yeah, so like Whitaker is the epitome of that, right? Keeping the game plan, being like super smart. Even though he doesn't have a lot of power, he sticks to his in and out, like setting up punches, setting up kicks. Paulo Costa is more like going out there and kind of doing it using raw talent, and
Yeah,
force, like
exactly.
brute force.
Yeah, so I honestly that kind of makes this matchup interesting, I guess. Like I guess this is the one fight where Costa doesn't need to try to reach on too much because Sean, we all know what Sean does is he sits there, he'll let you throw, he'll try to catch you, dodge, and then throw counters. So I guess that works to Paulo's advantage because he can just go forward and just go crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Sean's defense kind of has that gap where like if you're just gonna go crazy and throw a bunch of shit, then obviously it's gonna something's gonna land, something's gonna stick.
Yeah, Sean, I mean, he does have good defense, don't get me wrong. He knows how to interact with like the first two, three punches really good. But once you start chaining a bunch of shit on him, yeah, there's some openings because like the Philly shell, he uses it. Boxing, that it puts you in a bad position in the back
Yeah,
foot. Like, so many fighters they get stuck there and they get cracked.
yeah. Like if you sit there in the pocket with Sean, you're gonna get eaten alive, right? But if you throw it on him and push him back, where he actually has to move his feet, that's where I think you can open up his guard, where he has to like either move with his feet or or pivot, I guess. You know what I mean? He can't just sit there in the Philly shell and keep moving it backwards. He's got to do something different.
Yeah, he definitely has to work on some lateral movement. Personally, I
Yeah.
feel like, and
But
like, I mean, Paulo is orthodox though, so I feel like Sean is gonna be able to catch him with some good cracks, though. But
for sure. I
his
think yeah.
his go for it.
I think it's the head kicks. I just thought about it. I think if because Costa's got a good head kick. I think if he keeps over and over keeps throwing the head kicks, forcing Sean to keep his head up and abandon his Philly shell defense, I think that's where he'll have success. I mean, it doesn't have to be to the head; it could be to the body and just kicking his arms over and over.
Yeah, but also that's because Costa doesn't really set the head kick up, right? He just throws it pure speed.
Yeah,
Like if you got good eyes like Sean does, you could read that and crack him through the middle.
100%. I
If
think yeah, for sure.
if Costa like tries to kick from too short distance, Sean can definitely take advantage. So I feel like it's a 50-50 toss up right now, but both people have who's the favorite? Sean is the favorite. Kind of
Yeah,
yeah, favorite. Um yeah, I could see Sean winning, but if he is not on his P's and Q's, I could see a way that Paulo Costa could win too. And Paulo kind of needs this win if he wants to contend in the high level.
yeah.
They
I'm
kind
gonna
of both need to
say
win right now.
yeah. I'm gonna call this fight right now. It's gonna be first round, first or second round. Paulo's gonna have very good blitzes. It's gonna look like he's winning this fight, and then he's gonna just stop, and then Sean's gonna take over for the second half. You know what I mean? Like Paulo's gonna be like, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. He's just going crazy, and then he's like, oh shoot, it's not working. And then Sean's gonna be like, oh, what's up now? Kind of like Nate Diaz, like, what's up?
yeah,
And then I think he's gonna
yeah.
win the remainder of the fight and probably win a decision.
It's like when with Duplessis, right? He Duplessis was catching him, and Duplessis has like heavy hands. Like when he caught Whitaker, he like put him on his ass. But Sean, even though he was getting caught, and like I was just giving him shit for like not having lateral movement and whatnot, he still kind of rolls with that punch, and he kind of takes the power because he never got really cracked against Duplessis, you know. And
Yeah,
like Duplessis puts people on their ass. So I feel like he's gonna be able to withstand Paulo's blitzes, like you were saying, and kind of put it on them in the later rounds, just like you said. And Sean is really good at that cat and mouse game, like even better than Izzy, to be honest.
yeah. I think Sean's so much more efficient at it. Like Izzy does all this in and out, like big movements, but Sean's like it's like just micro. You know what I mean? Like really small, efficient movements. That's just enough where he's not wasting anything, and he's right there to counter.
Yeah, Sean gets so much more out of his movements, like you were saying, than Izzy. Izzy has to do all this extra shit, you know, to set up
Yeah.
a jab that doesn't do
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. Yeah. Izzy's like, if he's not knocking you out, it's gonna be a pretty lame fight, in my opinion. I'm still an Izzy fan,
Yeah,
but I mean, he's had some good fights where he'll sit there and trade, but he's at the point where he does not want to get hit. It looked like that at least in
yeah.
the Sean fight.
Yeah, I like
Yes.
Izzy as much as anybody else too, but yeah, he has a lot of holes in his game
Yeah. Let's go to this
from a striking
Makhachev fight.
perspective. Yes, dude, that's gonna be a
Uh,
banger.
dude. So I don't know if you remember the Poirier versus Habib fight, but um,
Yeah,
Dustin was able to catch Habib pretty early, and I think he had a really good guillotine or like a guillotine, and he had some success. And then obviously we all know what Habib is good at. It's just he's good at just locking you down and not letting you out. So, but Makhachev, he's a little bit different. He's actually a more complete fighter in my opinion. His striking's really good,
100%.
grappling's really
Yeah,
good, durability's really good, IQ's like he's like I think honestly he's the better version of Khabib. Obviously he's not better at grappling, but I think overall fighter he's a bit more exciting, more well-rounded than Khabib.
100%. Yeah, number one pound for pound up there with John Jones right now,
Yeah,
or
and
maybe number one due to John's inactivity. You know,
oh yeah, yeah. How do you see this fight going?
Before I say that, I just want to say that I did watch that Khabib fight, and dude, I actually watched a lot of their previous fights for this podcast. I think Khabib said that he was gonna let Poirier put him in a guillotine and get out of there, just to show him that he could get out of the guillotine or whatever.
Oh my god.
but
Dude, yeah. Oh god.
I was watching my boy Tim Welch's video today, and he was saying how Khabib only cinches up the guillotine from the right side, and Makhachev, because he's a southpaw, he always shoots left, and that pretty much he's in clear water for the guillotine. And so obviously Makhachev has a super upper hand when it comes to grappling and wrestling. But when it comes to Poirier is known for having good power and decent boxing. But low key, Makhachev, oh, I don't know if I want to say this, but I think he might be a better striker than Poirier, bro.
I mean, yeah, like his head kicks are really good, his boxing is really good, but I think Poirier has the edge in at least the boxing.
Power, I think Poirier has the edge, but if you look at Makhachev, he looks like a fucking Soviet boxer. You know how
Yeah.
Soviets have that style? He has the same stance as a Soviet boxer. Like he moves like a Soviet boxer. He like exchanges like a Soviet boxer. I don't know. I think Makhachev is faster. Poirier does have power, but he takes too long to reset his feet because he has a super wide stance sometimes, kind of stuck in the mud. But he does have
Yeah.
power though, so and he does change some good combinations, and like he's a dog. He has a good chin. He takes punches to dish him out. But I feel like Makhachev, he might have too much of a IQ for Poirier. And he always has
Yeah,
the wrestling to go to as well.
for sure. I think we definitely see Islam um maybe not just try to grind on him the whole fight, but I think he's gonna wear him out to the point where Poirier's striking is gonna become like 15 or 20% less effective just because he's so gassed from the wrestling. So then it's gonna look like Islam's dominating him on the feet as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and Islam looked good in his last fight
Yeah, dude,
against
holy
Volkanovski. What did you
yeah.
think about the first Volkanovski fight?
Dude, I think I had Volkanovski winning that fight by a slim margin. I thought it was like it was a pick 'em fight. Either guy could have won, but I think emotionally I was attached to Volkanovski, so I gave it to him. But I still think like, man, that was one of the best fights I've seen at lightweight for sure.
Yeah. Volkanovski was successful to the fact that when he was on the ground, getting controlled by Islam, like Islam couldn't really do anything, like no
Yeah,
productive offense, no finishes. On the
facts.
feet, Volkanovski's pretty good because he has really fast feet, so he's gonna give everybody problems. Kind of reminds you of a like an MMA Gamboa. You know how even though Gamboa was super short, he was always able to give everybody problems on the feet. Um,
Yeah, and it kind of gives him, some like Terrence Crawford vibes where like he can switch it up. He can transition between left and right-handed. If that makes sense.
oh yeah, for sure.
Like he's
But
always
no, yeah,
yeah, he's always switching stances, always mixing it up like and he looks just as good from either stance, but man, like dude, I think Islam just I don't think he's a lightweight. You know what I mean?
oh
He's
yeah,
a dang he's a welterweight, bro. He's like cheating or something. I don't know how he gets down to 155.
yeah, dude. That's what we were talking about the other time, right? When we were talking about weight cutting being like as effective, if not more effective, than PEDs in the literature. Yeah, dude, these dudes are big. Well, Dustin Poirier too. He's huge, bro.
Yeah, he is pretty big. But it's just something like when you see Islam step in there, like it's just I don't know what it is. Like Poirier looks like like pretty thick, a lot of muscle. But when you see Islam step in there, he just looks like a much larger fighter at that. I don't know how to describe it. You know what I mean? Let me see if I
Yeah,
can pull up a
yeah.
figure. He stepped in there and was doing the face off against Volk. I'm like, this is not a lightweight. Like, look at this picture, dude.
Oh,
Like, this is not. I know it's like camera angle and everything, but still, like.
Oh yeah. How
You
I
s-
mean Volk is pretty small, but yeah, Islam does cut a lot of weight. He's like one of those Russian dudes that cuts so much weight.
yeah, like I mean, look at the shoulders and the arms, bro. Like it's just ridiculous.
Oh yeah, he does have a distinct advantage over a lot of the people that he fights. Especially Volk, he had a super advantage over him.
Yeah. So this should be interesting. I think if Islam sticks around and doesn't wrestle enough, I think Poirier is going to have success on the feet and win those rounds that Islam doesn't grapple. But I think all it takes is like one or two exchanges of him holding him on the fence or holding him on the ground, and then striking after. I think Islam is going to win all those rounds, which is kind of how the Volk and Islam fight went, like where Islam won the rounds where he grappled and then lost the rounds where he didn't. It's kind of how I remember it going
Yeah.
the first Volk fight. But
Yeah.
dude, there's something about Dustin. He every time everyone counts him out, he like I don't, even in his last fight against Benoit Saint Denis, this French, like special forces guy that's like the next up and coming guy, like the next title challenger, and everyone had this guy winning, and little do you know, like Poirier freaking knocks him out. It's like what the heck, you know what I mean? Just surprises us.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought Dustin was gonna win that fight just based off experience. But that
Yeah,
guy,
I
yeah,
liked him
that
too. But
I mean Dustin has a really good resume, man. Look, just right there. Gaethje, Chandler, Oliveira,
ridiculous. He's
Connor,
fought everybody, dude.
Booker, Habib, dude, yeah. Like when you have that when you have that type of experience, that like counts for a lot, you know. So that's why he's able to compete at the highest level for this long because he just has the experience.
100%. And he just completely like he dominated Max Holloway. And that's why I give Poirier the edge in boxing because Holloway's boxing is so effing good, and Poirier was able to just completely dominate him in that fight. And then we saw what Max Holloway did to Gaethje. It's like Holloway's got some of the best boxing in the game, but Poirier can pretty much stand and bang with anybody in the UFC. So that's why I think I give Poirier the slight edge in boxing. But I think overall striking, Makhachev's probably a better overall striker.
Yeah, I feel like Makhachev's striking is underrated, but I guess we'll see what the limitations of his capacity are in this fight.
Facts, facts. I think, man, I really want Poirier to win. I heard this could be his last fight, so it's gonna be. I mean,
Oh damn.
what do you think about when fighters say this could be my last fight? Like, in my opinion, I think actually let me hear what you're gonna say.
I never believe it, bro. You just gotta wait it out. Just with anything in life, when you hear something, you just wait till the dust settles and then you can start commentating on it, you know?
Facts. But like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like every time fighters say this could be my last fight, it never ends well. Like 90% of the time. So it's like, why even say that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
I
like
don't
Khabib,
know.
right? When he retired, he didn't tell anybody until like everybody was super surprised and he went out on top.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I feel like you cannot be saying some stuff like that because you're already kind of like giving yourself doubt in a way.
Yeah, like people say you already have 1 foot out.
Yeah. So I hate that he
And to
said
compete
that.
against Yeah, and to compete against Islam, you have to have all feet in. Get some more feet from other people or something.
Yeah, dude, you need like three legs.
Yeah.
All right. Was that the last topic we were going to talk about for this podcast?
Um, we just got one
Oh,
more topic and
yeah.
then we're done. That I guess Chael Sonnen is boxing Anderson Silva. What the heck, man? What's going on?
Dude, I saw he was going to fight like some other like athlete too, like or movie star or someone. I can't remember who.
Really?
Yeah, it was like I don't know if it's going to be a multi-fight thing or just one fight, but I was saying he was going to fight another person. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. It was like some oh man, I gotta find it. Oh, Terry Crews.
What? Terry Crews, bro. Terry
I
Crews.
think I hope it was fake. I don't know if it's real, but I think the Chill
That would be
Sonnen one is
funny.
probably more real.
Wait, Terry Crews was gonna fight who?
Anderson Silva.
Oh no, that would be
I think
bad for
it. I
Terry,
hope it was
bro.
fake. I think it was fake, but that's so. I saw that one before the Sonnen one. I saw it right before. It was like the day before the Chael Sonnen news came out. So maybe it's fake. I don't know, but that'd be funny as hell.
I was about to say Terry don't gotta be doing all that, man. He still got money from the White Chicks movie, from Everybody Hates Chris. He's good.
Yeah, for real. And he's kind of old. But
Yeah,
what do you think about Chael Sonnen?
dude, I love Uncle Chael, but he got no business boxing Anderson, bro.
For real, dude. Especially how good Silva looked in his boxing fights. Like he looked pretty. I think he won one and lost one, but he looked pretty freaking good in my opinion.
Yeah, dude, he fucking well, he lost to Jake Paul, which I
Yeah.
mean, it is what it is, but yeah, Chael's a good fighter, like a MMA fighter, but when it comes to the hands, yeah, he's doing good on YouTube commentating and all that. He should stick to that. But I guess this is like a retirement. Henderson Silva's gonna finally hang up the gloves or whatever.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I hope that at least they get paid, but I don't know. I think it's gonna be like some Ben Askren type meeting. You know?
yeah, that's what I was just imagining right now, actually.
Like it's just gonna look so bad. It's gonna look so one-sided, but who knows? Maybe Chill Sonnen just comes out there and surprises us and just goes like balls to the wall for a round and like drops Silva early and then I don't know, makes it exciting at least.
I think they should do it like those Julio Cesar Chavez sparring where they have like the headgear and stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's more like of a spectacle. Yeah, they should do it like that.
Yeah, I saw that, but I think one of I don't know if it was Julio Cesar Chavez or someone else where they had fought with the headgear on, and then they got pissed. They're like, "Can I take this shit off?" And the commission's like,
Oh yeah,
"No."
yeah,
That was pretty
yeah. That was
funny.
it. Yeah,
Him
but yeah,
was that him?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Yeah, he's like, "What the hell am I wearing?" So I feel like it would be the same thing where Silva's was like, "Man, take this shit off. Let's go. Let's fight."
it'd be funny if Chael shot a shot at Silva, take him down a little.
Yeah, honestly, that's what I would do if I was him. Like, if it's like the last round or two, I'd just be like, "Fuck this."
Yeah, but I guess they're pretty good friends though nowadays.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, Silva, he always be looking like the most friendly dude. You know, like I don't know if his voice because he's Brazilian, and then when he talks English, he sounds. Have you ever heard him talking English? It's so funny.
Oh yeah, yeah. He sounds like a friendly fella.
Yeah, and
He's a
then
killer.
yeah, and then we got Chael Sonnen, who sounds like he's like pissed off 20%. I mean, you ever heard him just like his face just gets red? Like he's obviously not mad, but his face gets red and looks like he's just yelling. I
Yeah,
love
he's like
him.
an angry uncle at the barbecue.
Yeah, I love him though. I used to watch all his stuff. I don't not so much anymore, but because I noticed he likes to lie a lot. Have you ever noticed that he like talks like like he says a bunch of fake ass shit, but he does it on purpose. But then he makes it look like he's not trying to lie. I don't know how to describe it, but
No,
like,
yeah.
yeah, it's funny, but
He's got that WWE marketing model going on.
yeah, dude, that's a
But
perfect description of that. So yeah, I guess
yeah,
the build
bro.
up the build up to the fight is gonna be good. It's gonna be really funny.
Hopefully it is because I don't know if the fight's gonna be pretty good to be honest.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be
Unless
10-8 Chael Sonnen at the press conference, and then
it's
yeah.
gonna carry over to the fight.
Yeah. All right. So we wrap this one up.
All right, guys. This was episode 6. Thank you for joining us again. Comment, like, and subscribe if you like our content. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.
Peace out, guys.